Students, in the today's class, we are dealing with the fourth step in the application interaction model, that is finding the initial and the final events. In this one, we are finding out the actors who initiate the event and which is that event which will be final one, that is terminates the event. So to start with, the use cases partition the system functionalities into discrete pieces and show the actors who are involved in each piece. If you take the interaction or working of a ATM machine, we have discrete set of pieces of the functionalities and we have the actors also who are using these particular use cases. So we'll see in the boundary of the ATM system, we have around 4 use cases. First one is initiate the session, which starts with the customer entering the card and the ATM machine being waiting for some customer to enter the card. Right here, it starts with the authentication. Background, the authentication of the customer is checked. Next is query the account, wherein the customer generates the data with respect to the account, like the current balance he has, what all transactions he has done on which days, right? So that he can query. Next is the customer can process some transactions like the checking of the balance or deposit or doing the withdrawal, which will affect the content of the bank are present in the process transaction. And the next use case is transmit the data. That is, consortium facilitates to communicate with the appropriate bank computer. Because in the ATM, one bank's card can be used in another bank's ATM. So whenever a customer initiates the session, so the bank will check for his authentication through the consortium, because ATMs are connected to the central computer and the consortium will request the bank for the authentication, and if he is authenticated user, then only he can proceed and do the next all use cases. So here the use cases will not explain us the behavior of a particular object. Here only the use case will explain us this functionality can be carried out. Here the query account can be carried out, a transaction process can be processed. So it is not explaining us the different behaviors that can be involved with one use case. So the different behaviors when the session is initiated are: the customer might have inserted a card which has expired, or the customer has inserted a card which is given to him on the account which has already closed, or he might have done entering the wrong entry of a PIN. So different behaviors are there. Even though the use case is one, it behaves differently with the different behavior of the customer, because customers or the human beings are not under the control of the system, right? So depending upon the behavior, either the authentication will be successful or it can be a failure. So since the use cases are not explaining us the behaviors, that is the behaviors are not clear, to understand the behavior, what is required is we should explain their execution sequence in the manner in which they will execute. So which starts with finding out the initial event, that is find out who initiates this particular use case, determine which actor initiates and define the event that sends to the system. The example, in a many a time when we are explaining the initial events, always they will be a request for the service, right? When the customer interacts with the ATM, he is requesting for some transaction without the help of a banking employee, and or it can be a occurrence of a trigger which will evoke a chain of activity, like when you press a OK button to download a particular file, right, or a folder, it will trigger a chain of activities which will go on downloading the related audio files, the video files, the images. So it is invoking a chain of activities. So many a times the initial events can be a request or it can be a occurrence of a trigger to evoke a chain of activities. So for each of the event you should give a meaningful name, but don't finalize the parameters that may be affected. With the authentication of a customer, that is initiate session. As of now, the parameter with respect to that event is a password, but don't finalize that you are accepting only the password as a parameter. There can be another related parameters also, that is status of account is also one more parameter, because if your account is in the status of closed, you cannot access the ATM card, right? So give a meaningful name, but don't finalize the exact parameters that are to be associated. Next is, once the initial events are found out, next is we should determine the final event or events, right? So final event or events. To determine the final event, we should understand how much an individual use case will consist of. How much the individual use case consists of, that is what is the scope of your use case, that will decide the final event. Example, take a particular example of a use case called as application of a loan, right? You are applying for some loan. Now when you apply for a loan, right, when you are applying for a loan, what all things can happen with the loan? You will fill the application, right? You will fill the application and submit it. So when it is submitted, either your application for the loan may be accepted or it may be rejected. If it is accepted, what will happen? The amount that you have applied for loan will be deposited in your account. Okay, so once this particular amount is deposited, you should do the repayment of the loan amount by the EMI, right? So once you have paid all the amount, for example, if you have taken around 1000 rupees loan, right, with the interest you have to pay it back. So once it is done, your loan account will be closed. Now, so apply loan is a use case. Now you should explain how much is included in each use case. Till what you find out this application loan? Are you considering only till the loan is granted or rejected? Are you stopping the use case? If so, the final event will be either granted or rejected, right? It's the same use case and you have included only till it is accepted or rejected. That's why the final event would be either it will be rejected or accepted. Next one is applying the loan. You have said that I'll include till only the application is submitted. That is, the user will fill one application form and submit it to the bank manager and it is done. In such case, submission is the final event, filling the or requesting for the loan is the initial event. Otherwise, you might have included few more things, that is loan amount delivered to the customer. If you finding that till the loan amount is deposited in the customer account, that is the use case of apply for loan. Then the final event is deposition of the loan amount is the final event. Otherwise, if you are extended your use case till the loan is fully paid off and it is closed, right? So the two final events will be there. One is completing paying of the amount and next one is the closing of the amount. So these are all reasonable choices, right? It is left to you. How will you decide the use case apply for? Do you include till this point or this point or this point, right? So you have to decide how much is there within the one use case. What is the scope of this use case? What all things you are including? So depending upon what is included, the scope is described by when it terminates, right? So when it terminates, that all things will be belong to the use case. So like this, you are finding out the final events. To summarize, we have the different final events. So the first use case was what? Initiate session was first use case. To initiate the session, the initial event is customer insertion of the cash card is the initiation, and the final event is In some of the ATM, they will keep the card till the transaction is over. Some will return it back, right? So there are two final events. Either it is keeping the card or returning the card. Second one is requesting for the querying the account. For that use case, customer's request is the initial event and the data that is displayed on the screen is the final event. Next is initiation or processing of the transaction is an event. For this, the initial event is customer should initiate the transaction. He should click on one of the transactions, whether to transfer the amount or withdraw. He should initiate the transaction. Next is the final event is aborting or committing. That is, either your withdrawal will be successful and it will be reflected in your bank account, or you may abort it because of some system failure or the wrong data that you have inserted. It may be aborted, are the two final events, right? And the last one was transmitting the data. With respect to the transmitting the data, either the customer have requested for the account data, that is, I might have asked a bank to give me the information regarding the transactions I have done for the past 6 months, right? So the initial event is the request from the customer. So the final event will be either successfully I'll display those information to the customer and the data information will be transmitted. Sometime the initial event may be you may be working online, suddenly the power may go off or there may be a problem with the network, right? So when the network connectivity is up and running or when the power comes back, so automatically the bank data will go on fetching the information, right? So the two initial events are there for the transfer of the transmitting the data. One is either from the customer request or it is a self triggered event, that is because of a power failure or the network failure or any other related failure. What is will be done? The final event is transmission of the data is the final event. The next step is preparing the normal scenario. That is, we are explaining those sequence of events that will happen in a normal scenario. We are excluding the unexpected behaviors. We are just defining what is expected correct behavior. We are not bothered about the errors that may happen or the unexpected behavior of the customers are not explained here. We are just explaining the normal scenario. It illustrates the major interaction between external display format and the information exchange. The scenarios, the sequence of events among the interacting objects are to be explained with respect to the normal scenario. For a person who is interacting with the ATM machine, the normal scenario is what? He is entering the card properly, he is entering his PIN properly, he is selecting the account properly, and he has entered the sufficient balance with the required denominations and he has taken it, right? We are not bothered about any exceptional cases or the errors here. So you should create a sequence of events among the interacting objects. The interacting objects were customer and the ATM machine. ATM machine in turn will check with the consortium and the bank for the authentication. So we should explain the scenarios. Next, we should not include the unusual inputs or the errors. As I explained, we are excluding the unexpected behavior here. The information values are exchanged as the event parameters. So for the event like password entered event, the value of the parameter is the password the customer has entered or the PIN the customer has entered. Now for each event, you should identify the actor that has caused the event. The password is entered by the customer. So we should identify the actors that cause the events. So let us see a normal scenario for the initiation of a session. That was our first use case with respect to the ATM system. Our first use case was initiate session, wherein the customer has inserted a card when the ATM machine was waiting in the idle state. and this state we are checking the authentication of the customer. So let us see the normal scenario for initiation of a session. Look here, the first scenario, what happens initially, the ATM asks the user to insert the card. Next is user will insert the card. Next, what the ATM will do? Next scenario, just close your eyes and think how you actually access your ATM machine. So nothing is outside here, all the things are actually what is happening in our day-to-day life. So you should remember the sequence, how the normal scenario of accessing the ATM will happen. So think about, you are going to a ATM. So what you do, the ATM asks for the user to insert the card and you insert the card. Next, what the ATM will do, ATM accepts your card and reads its serial number, because the serial number will be belonging to one of your account, so it does the cross verification. Next, the ATM will request for the password and you enter the password, that is user enters the password. Once the password or the PIN is entered, ATM verifies the password by contacting the consortium or a bank. If it is within the banking transactions, that is SBI card is inserted in the SBI ATM, so it checks with the bank only. Otherwise, if you have inserted a Federal Bank card in the SBI, so consortium will be contacted, right? So the authentic verifies the PIN code. Next is the ATM will display the menu, right? The menu will be displayed what you want to do. Next is user chooses the command, what actually he want to do. User chooses the command to, once he does what he actually wanted to do, that is selecting the commands, whether to do the transfer of the data, whether you want to do the withdrawal, and all these things are done. Last is the user will choose the command to terminate the session, right? So he want to end the transaction now. So once it is ended, what is will be done, the ATM will print the receipt and eject the card and ask the user to take your card back, okay, along with the cash. So the user, what it does, the user will take the receipt and take the card as well as the cash if he has done the withdrawal, and the ATM will ask for the insert of the card for the next transaction, that is again it will be moved to the ideal state. So this is how the normal scenario are to be explained. Next, once the normal scenarios are fixed, you should go on adding the variations and the exceptions. Look at, so when you are adding the variation, the exceptions, you should think about the special cases like omitted input, right? When you are filling the application form, some of the mandatory fields may be omitted by the customer, so the customer might have not input the data. Next is, he might have not bothered about the maximum and the minimum limit. For example, in the ATM there is a maximum limit per transaction or the per day, right? He might have missed that one. Similarly, in your ATM machine, the note denomination is 500 rupees. So there is a minimum, you can withdraw 500 rupees. If you are given 200 rupees, it will not work. So like this, you should consider the special cases. Next is, you should also consider the error cases. That is, entering some invalid values, like entering the card wrongly, entering the PIN wrongly. And you should respond to the failures also. The network may be failed, the ATM computer might have crashed, right? Something might have happened. So you should consider those error cases also. So in a case of either error or the special cases, the system should not crash. Either you should abort that failed step and you should take back to the safe starting point. Okay, the safe starting point before entering the wrong PIN was what? Insertion of a card. Right, again it will ask you to enter the PIN correctly. It will not shut down the computer of a ATM machine. So you should respond to the, with respect to ATM, you should prepare the scenarios for the ATM card which is not readable. You should be able to take care of the card which is expired. You should think about the ATM when it times out. You have inserted a card and started searching a PIN in your mobile. Okay, you don't remember where you have stored the PIN. That time the time may be out. So you should take care of this one also. The machine may be out of service or out of cash, or it may be out of paper. So you'll be unable to do few of the events like withdrawal of a cash, printing of the receipts cannot be handled. Next is there may be a problem with the communication lines, that is network may not be up and running. Next is the transaction is rejected, behavior of the suspicious pattern of the card usage. For the cybercrime people, they know the different patterns how the fraud will happen, right? In if such cases, the transactions will be rejected. Example, entering the pin more than 3 times means you might have using others card also. In reality you might have forgotten, but this is a pattern, somebody else is accessing the card, so they are trying more than 3 times means it will suspect and rejects, your account will be blocked, right? So you should consider the variations and the exception scenarios.